From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. Good evening, I'm Sharon Masquinius.
Good evening, I'm Lakshita Dirasinghe. We start off by taking a look at the top stories for tonight.
Confirmed cases of COVID-19 patients in the country increased to 142. Many reliefs provided for affected public from the coronavirus under the directive of the President. Curfew enforced in 19 districts will be lifted at 6 a.m. tomorrow and reimposed at 2 p.m. A person who rejected the quarantine process has been taken into custody. Payments of advance loans under the Samurdhi second phase set to be completed in 10 days. The balance of the COVID-19 Healthcare and Social Security Fund has escalated up to 242 million rupees. 35 multinational companies in a critical battle to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus.
Now for those and other stories in detail, starting off with local news. The total confirmed cases of COVID-19 patients in the country has escalated to 142, with the reporting of 20 more patients today. Reporting of other patients in the country was confirmed from March 11th following the first confirmed case of COVID-19 infected person identified as a Chinese female. Dr. Anil Jayasinghe said that 3 other patients were found in the Kandy district. He also said that 6 patients have been identified in Kalathura district. He added that 4 of the identified cases are family members of a previously identified patient. He said that another patient has been identified from the Ivala area. 16 patients, including the Chinese female, have been discharged from hospitals after recovering completely in the country. Thus far, 2 more patients were discharged today after completely recovering from the disease. The total death toll in the country has increased to 2 at present. 114 patients are currently receiving treatments at Infectious Disease Hospital in Angoda, Walikanda Base Hospital and Mulariava Base Hospital. 173 suspicious cases are under medical observation in several hospitals in the country at present. Epidemic Disease Unit has pointed out that the coronavirus infected patients have discovered from 13 districts thus far. Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi said that the patient who had died from disease was admitted to the Negombo District Hospital on March 29th. She said that the patient had admitted to the district hospital under critical condition after a private hospital had rejected the patient's request to be admitted into the hospital. She said that if a person has symptoms related to the disease, as the government has constantly reiterated, such persons should admit into 27 hospitals declared by the government. She requested the public to fulfill their duty to the country by following instructions given out by the relevant authorities. Meanwhile, the final rites of the deceased patient was conducted at the public cemetery in Negombo last night. This process was carried out within the internationally recognized special quarantine methods. The Health Ministry has indicated that 13 family members of the deceased patient have been directed to the quarantine process. The police have informed the period granted for the returnees from foreign countries from March 16 to the 19th to register with the police will be concluded by 12 noon tomorrow. DIG Ajit Rohana said that the returnees from foreign countries should be directed to quarantine process. He said that those persons should register through 119 or 1933 hotlines or by calling the closest police station. He added that raids will be carried out to arrest the unregistered individuals using the documents provided by the Controller General of Immigration and Emigration.
කටයුතු කළ යුතුයි. හෙට 12න් පසුව විශේෂයෙන්ම ආගමන විගමන පාලකයවරයා විසින් ලබා දුන්නු ලේඛන උපයෝගී කරගෙන එම අය අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීම සඳහා වැටලීම් ක්‍රියාත්මක කරනවා.
Two wards of the Negombo District General Hospital and Colombo South Teaching Hospital have been closed. The ward in Negombo District General Hospital was closed after the death of the second COVID-19 patient, and the ward in the Colombo South Teaching Hospital was closed after detecting a COVID-19 patient receiving treatment at the hospital.
COVID-19 වෛරසය ශරීරගත වී ඇති බව
Meanwhile, a host of more financial and material benefits have been granted to low-income and vulnerable families and individuals in the face of COVID-19 outbreak. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed the Presidential Task Force established to administer essential services in the wake of spread of combating COVID-19 that provision of 5,000 rupees as a single payment to the low-income families to ease the financial difficulties faced by them. A circular signed by the Secretary to the President, Dr. P.B. Jayasundara, on the concessions granted by the President and how they will be implemented was issued yesterday. The circular had been referred to the Secretaries of Ministries of Finance, Economic and Policy Development and Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government, and all District and Divisional Secretaries. This relief program will continue to operate until the priority program to eliminate the novel coronavirus from Sri Lanka declared the completion of its mission. Dr. Jayasundara stated that he had been instructed by the President to issue directives to all district and divisional secretaries to take all necessary measures to provide essential food items to the doorstep at a concessionary price. Measures have been taken to pay 5,000 rupees each to all 416,764 senior citizen allowance recipients and to the recently registered 142,345 senior citizens. An allowance of 5,000 rupees will be provided to disabled persons as well. An allowance of 5,000 rupees will be provided to 84,071 disabled persons and 35,229 newly registered disabled persons. A total of 160,675 farmers who are registered under the Farmers Insurance Scheme will also receive an allowance of 5,000 rupees each. An allowance of 5,000 rupees will be paid to 25,320 kidney patients and 13,850 newly registered patients. Triposha and other nutritional supplements will be delivered directly to the residences of expectant mothers and families with malnourished children. Measures have been taken to provide 5,000 rupees each to all 1,798,655 Samurti recipients and to the recently registered 600,339 Samurti recipients by the Samurti Bank or Samurti Authority. Measures have also been to pay the pensions to 645,179 public officers. Steps will be taken to pay the April salary for 1.5 million public sector employees and loan payment deductions from salaries to be suspended until further notice. Also, relief has been granted on the lease installments for 1.5 million self-employed persons, including owners of three-wheelers, trucks, school buses and vans, and self-employed motorists. In addition, reliefs will be provided for the private businesses that are not in a position to pay employees' wages due to the prevailing economic hardships. Those who do not belong to the above-mentioned classification but could be identified as at risk will receive similar reliefs. This identification process will be conducted under the supervision of public health inspectors, social services development, Samurti development, agricultural research development and family health service officers and district secretaries. The circular issued by the Secretary to the President stated that the district and divisional secretaries should take steps to directly distribute essential food items to individuals. In this process, officials have been asked to partner with Satosa, cooperatives and private traders in order to get a fair price for farmers without the interference of third parties. The Secretary to the President said that the relevant officers should fulfill their respective duties under the guidance of the Presidential Task Force.
In other news, the Samurti Development Department says that the distribution of advance payments for the beneficiaries under the second phase of the relief steps and Arunalu project expected to be completed before April 10th. Director General of the Department, Attorney at Law Bandula Tilakasiri has said that the first phase of the distribution of advance payments for Samurdhi beneficiaries is currently in progress at present. This benefit will be granted for close to 2 million Samurdhi beneficiary families in the country. A financial provision of 20,000 million rupees has been allocated for this project. Each beneficiary is set to receive 10,000 rupees and will provide it in 2 phases with 5,000 rupees under each phase. No interest will be charged for the grant. First 6 months will be considered as a grant period, and a period of 18 months will be given to repay the payment. Director General of the Department, Attorney at Law Bandula Tilakasiri said that the distribution of relief fund will be carried out in 1,073 banks. He said that the distribution funds will be carried out in 2 methodologies. Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi said that the interest-free loan worth 5,000 rupees has been extended for 940,000 families in the country thus far. She said that 4,700 million rupees has been released from the Samurdhi banks. She said that they expect to extend the loan payment to all Samurdhi beneficiaries by the end of tomorrow or day after.
දැනට තියෙන තත්ත්වයේ හැටියට එම පවුල් වලින් 9,48,000කට රුපියල් 5,000 මුදල ලබා දීලා තිබෙනවා.
Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavindra Silva said that a streamlined process has been initiated for the pensioners to visit their respective banks to receive the pension for the month of April. Army commanders said that the Tri-Forces, in collaboration with the Grama Seva officers and the Sri Lanka police, will undertake the task to transport senior citizens to the banks from their residences and back to their residences after obtaining necessary finances from the bank. Meanwhile, steps were taken to provide 645 million rupees for 64,500 relief beneficiaries in the Puttalam district under the Relief Steps Loan Scheme. The loan payment will be distributed to all beneficiaries under door-to-door mechanism. Distribution of advance loan payment of 5,000 rupees for 3,101 Samurdhi beneficiaries in Paduka Divisional Secretariat was held yesterday. 700 more beneficiaries set to receive the advance loan payment within a day.
A discussion was held over the issues faced by the exporters in the apparel sector amid the prevailing situation in the country at the Temple Trees today. The meeting was held under the patronage of head of the Special Presidential Task Force for Essential Services, Basil Rajapaksa. Exporters in the apparel sector in the country have faced many concerns and issues over the rapid spread of COVID-19 virus in the world. One of the major concerns faced by the exporters in the apparel sector is the failure to receive the due payments from several companies in the world market for the exported apparel stocks since February. Meanwhile, another issue faced by the producers in the apparel sector in the country is the cancellation of several orders which are currently in the process of production. Lengthy discussions were held on how to overcome the challenges posed in the next 3 months by the exporters due to the prevailing situation. Representative of the European Union to Sri Lanka, Thorsten Parkfred, and head of the economic affairs in the US Embassy, Susan Kwok, and many leading apparel industrialists were present for the discussion. Head of the Special Presidential Task Force for Essential Services, Basil Rajapaksa, said that they are expecting to provide swift solutions for these issues faced by the apparel sector.
Presidential Media Division says that the ongoing curfew in high-risk zones will remain in force until further notice. In all other remaining districts, curfew will be lifted at 6 a.m. tomorrow and reimposed at 2 p.m. The ongoing curfew in the districts of Colombo, Gampa, Kaluthara, Puttalam, Kandy and Jaffna, which have been identified as high-risk zones, will remain in force until further notice. In all other districts, curfew will be lifted at 6 a.m. tomorrow and will be reimposed at 2 p.m. on the same day. Travelling to and from all districts is completely prohibited except for the purpose of providing essential services. Those who misuse regulations introduced with the aim of ensuring the smooth functioning of the essential services will severely be dealt with according to the law. Since the sole purpose of these measures is to ensure the well-being of the people of this country in the wake of COVID-19 outbreak, the government requests the public to strictly adhere to the guidelines in a responsible manner. The village Atalugama in the Kalathura district and the village Akurana in Kandy district have been declared completely isolated areas. No person will be allowed to enter or leave from these two villages until further notice. The police headquarters has stated that all persons travelling in main roads and by roads without curfew permits or relevant documentation will be taken into custody without a warrant and will file court cases under the quarantine regulations and penal code. If the persons found guilty, if the persons found guilty, they will be imprisoned and imposed a penalty. The police have said that such persons will be directed to the public health officers or judicial medical officers to obtain a report in accordance with the requirement. The vehicles taken into custody will be detained under the police until the prevailing epidemic condition diminishes.
අප්‍රේල් පළවෙනිදා දහවල් 12ට පෙර ඔබ ඇතුළත් වුණේ නැත්නම් අපි මේ නාම ලේඛනයේ තියෙන නම් සහ ලිපිනයන් සංසන්දනය කරමින් එවැනි පුද්ගලයන් පදිච්ච ස්ථාන වැටලීමට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. ඔවුන් අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීමට ක්‍රියා කරනු ලබනවා. ඒ වගේම නිරෝධායන
The balance of the COVID-19 Healthcare and Social Security Fund has escalated up to 242 million rupees with the contributions and funds made by organizations and individual donors. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa established this fund on the 23rd of March. 145 million rupees worth donations were deposited to the COVID-19 Healthcare and Social Security Fund by 8 a.m. today, with a contribution worth 500,000 rupees donated by the Presidential Secretariat and the direct deposits worth 9.5 million rupees to the bank. Furthermore, the fund has received donations worth 242 million rupees, including the donation worth 10 million rupees from Financial Management Account Department of People's Bank. 3 million rupees worth contribution from Pensioner Society of People's Bank. Donations worth 5 million rupees each were directed by People's Leasing, Litrogas Lanka Limited, Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation and Bank of Ceylon. A donation worth 8 million rupees from National Savings Bank and 50 million rupees worth donation was made by Akbar Brothers Private Limited. A special account has been opened at the corporate branch of the Bank of Ceylon under the account number of 85 73 73 73. Local as well as foreign donors have made their contributions to the fund. Donations to the COVID-19 Healthcare and Social Security Fund have been exempted from the taxes and foreign exchange regulations. Deposits can be made through checks or telegraphic transfers. More information on this regard can be obtained by calling Director General of Administration KB Egudawala through 011 354 354.
Meanwhile, the government has taken steps to commence hospital clinic services utilizing video technology. The pilot project of the new program was initiated at the Colombo Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children today. The relevant medical advices for the patients arriving for treatments to the outdoor patient divisions will be provided through this methodology. The communication between doctor and the patient will be carried out through mobile telephone connections. Minister Rupavahini had engaged in an observational visit to the Colombo Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children to observe the new technological methodology. During the visit, Dr. Anuruddha Padani examined a patient through the video technology. This methodology is set to be implemented in other special hospitals as well. Patients will be able to obtain this service by downloading the ODOC app on their mobile devices. Donation of 150 face masks and 100 protective physical covers required by the Homagama Base Hospital was made at the hospital premises today. It was held under the patronage of Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena. A private company in Homagama was made this donation under the coordination of Small and Medium Scale Industry Association. Director of the hospital, Dr. Janitha Hettiarachi, was also present at this occasion. Donation of 15 beds worth 2 million rupees and medical equipment for the new special treatment wards for the COVID-19 virus established at the Kandy National Hospital was made at the Askiriya Mahavihara yesterday. The donation was made by senior Sangha committee member of the Askiriya chapter and the chief incumbent of the Mayangana Raja Mahavihara, the Venerable Urulevatte Dhammarakkita Thera. Prelate of the Askiriya chapter, the Most Venerable Varakagoda Jnanaratana Thera, Deputy Prelate of the Askiriya chapter, the Venerable Anamaduwe Dhammadasi Thera, Deputy Registrar Venerable Narampanave Ananda Thera, and Central Province Governor Lalit U. Gamage was present at this occasion. Meanwhile, a private company in Ampara area has taken measures to make a donation of 5,000 protective clothes required for doctors and 200,000 face masks for the Ampara hospital staff. Under this project, 20,000 face masks and 7,000 protective clothes for doctors were presented as well. A blood donation campaign organised by Apimitro Mahara was held to fulfill the requirements of the Ragam hospital today.